Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, and welcome back to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. It's me, Allison. All right, this episode is so good. Get out your notebook, take some notes. You're going to love this because right after this episode, you are going to go create a sales post and you're going to know exactly how to do it. But first, a really quick update. Moving forward, all of my podcast episodes will be released on Fridays. Okay. So due to just me having client calls on Wednesdays and Thursdays now, it is much easier for me to release episodes on Fridays. So yeah, stay tuned for my Friday episode releases. Okay, so this episode, I wanted to focus on selling and creating a sales post. So there's so many different ways for you to sell on social media. So I thought I'd give you a very simple way to create a sales post that literally isn't going to take you more than 15 minutes. I promise you this, okay? So most of y'all though, you overthink your posts, okay? Like what needs to be said, what graphics need to be on the post and all that sort of fun stuff, okay? So I'm going to go through that here on this episode. All right, so let's start with the copy though, okay? So that's the caption. This is the words that you're going to use. So for me, everything can be turned into a sales post, everything. All right, so I'll go into more of that towards the end of the episode, but everything can be a sales post. But I first want to start with just a simple template for you to work off of, okay? You can use this and it's not going to take you forever to create the post, okay? And you can use this for your posts on your grid, your stories, and even your email list, okay? You can use this everywhere. I personally don't want you stressed about what to say either, so I'm going to share with you how to structure it so that you can plug and play. And if you are listening in your car, no problem. I actually want you listening to this episode twice, okay? So listen to this and come back, take some notes, okay? But yeah, once again, you're probably going to want to listen to this twice. All right. So first things first, the first part of a sales post and any post realistically, right, is the headline. The headline is the most important part of this post. Okay. It's going to actually call out your ideal client immediately. So you can start by literally saying, calling all blank or attention all blank. So this is where you're going to insert your ideal client. Okay. So for me, calling all coaches or calling all sleep consultants. Then I want you adding something that they're really struggling with. So calling all coaches who are struggling to sign consistent clients. And here are some other examples. So if you're like a relationship coach, you can say calling all single ladies who are looking for Mr. Right. Or if you're a sleep consultant, you can say calling all exhausted moms who are sleep deprived. And then you can say something like, I have something for you, or read this, ... Okay. So once again, I can say something like calling all coaches who are struggling to sign clients. I have something for you, ... Then the next part of your post, you're going to go into what if statements or does this sound familiar statements. All right. So what if statements and does this sound familiar statements are things that they desire and things that they're currently struggling with. All right. So here are some examples. Okay. Does this sound familiar? You constantly are checking social media to find inspiration, but end up feeling overwhelmed and end up stuck in the scroll. Or does this sound familiar? You wake up early with the intention of getting work done, but you end up watching a free webinar with the hopes of finding a secret to growing your business fast. All right. So these are statements. You want to try to paint the picture of what your ideal client's thoughts are right now or the actions that they are doing every single day. Or you can go into these things called what if statements. Okay. I love these too. So here are a few other examples. So what if you knew exactly how to, and then you can say, turn your followers into paying clients? Or what if you knew what to post every day to get more of your followers on sales calls? What if you didn't have to wake up wondering what to post every day to get clients? Or you can say something like, what if you didn't have to struggle with finding the right business strategy for yourself? What if you could stop putting so much pressure on yourself and feel confident selling every day on social media? Or what if you could ditch that perfectionism and comparison and actually love showing up in your business every day? All right. So these are obviously what if statements for my ideal client. Okay. So really think about your ideal client and what they're going through right now. I'd use bullet points. Okay. I love bullet points. I want you making these posts digestible. Okay. I'd share maybe 4 to 5 different what if or does this sound familiar statements. Okay. So use bullet points. You don't have to use both types unless you want to. Okay. The does this sound familiar statements could really focus on their struggles. And then those what if statements could really focus on their desires and what they truly want. And I always want to note, use terminology that your ideal client is using right now. All right. So no weird industry jargon or anything that isn't really going to speak to their struggles and their desires. Really try to paint that picture of what your ideal client is going through right now. And as I'm going through these, okay, please note, this is just one way to sell, okay? One type of template that you can use. You don't need to use these every single time you sell or every single time you post, okay? This is just one of those sales posts to me that really hone in on their struggles and what they truly desire. And when we emotionally can connect with your ideal client, right? When you emotionally connect with them and they continually go, oh my God, this is me. Oh my God, she's like reading my mind, right? And while reading your posts, they're going to be way more likely to get curious about what you do. This is when they scope out your sales pages, watch a free webinar, or download some of your freebies. And then, right, they book a sales call with you. Okay. That's what we want them to do. The intention of your sales post is for them to book a call with you, right? Or consume more of your content. Remember, your content is what educates them on what you do and how you can help them. It does the convincing for you. So when you get on a real sales call, you actually aren't selling anything. You're just having a conversation about what you do. Okay, so now after those what if statements and does this sound familiar statements, you can add in these things called imaginative statements, okay? They are very similar to those what if statements, but I want you focusing on the big picture. Like, what are their big goals, their big dreams? What do they actually want? So here are some examples. So imagine if you were able to, and if you're a sleep consultant, you can say something like, imagine if you were able to work out in the afternoons or go to brunch with a friend because you knew exactly what time your baby was going to sleep every single afternoon, or like what time your baby was going to take a nap every single day. Imagine if you and your spouse could go on date nights without you worrying if the babysitter could get your toddler down for bedtime. Imagine if you could wake up feeling energized and well-rested because your baby slept a full 12 hours. All right, so these are just examples, but really think about what could you do for this family, or what could you really do for your ideal client? How could their life change by working with you? And then I literally just want you saying, hi, I'm Allison, right? So insert your name. Hi, I'm blank, and I help you do this. So this is where you're putting in your I help statement. So what do you really help them achieve? So I help you find and sign clients on social media, and I teach you how to create content and show up confidently to sell every day so that you can have consistent clients every month. And then I want you adding in a sentence that really pinpoints exactly what they're struggling with. So for example, if you are a parenting coach, okay, you can say, if you are struggling with multiple toddler tantrums, kicking and screaming every night at dinner because they won't eat their food, or you're just so done with your bedtime routine because your kid won't settle down and relax, then it's safe to say it's time to hire a blank. So hire a parenting coach. Okay. So go into about 2 to 3 different things that they're really, really struggling with right now. Then I want you going into, what does your package actually include and how long is it? All right. So this is what usually people try to sell and forget that the person needs to actually understand what they sell first and how are you actually going to help them, right? So that's the first part. And that's why I have you do sales posts just like this. And then at the end, this is when you're putting in what your program includes. Okay. So this is where I list out what's really going on inside the program. So for me, it's going to say 12 weeks of one-on-one coaching. What's included? And you're going to say weekly calls, access to all of my business courses, unlimited Voxer Monday through Friday, and any co-working sessions or workshops during the 12 weeks that we're working together. Investment is $3,000 USD and payment plans are available. So once again, use bullet points. Make all of your posts as digestible as possible. I don't want to see big, huge, bulky paragraphs, right? Hit that return button. Okay. It's so easy to do on Instagram. It's very easy to do in the Notes app. Okay. Break up those posts. You can also use emojis and bullet points. Okay. Just hit that return. Okay. Feel me? Digestible. We're skimmers. Okay. We're moving very, very fast on social media. So it's so important to break up the post. Okay. And then the very end of the post, okay, the very, very end, you're going to have a call to action. Okay. Call to action. This is for me, the easiest part of the post, right? You're just telling what you want your audience to do next. So you could say something like, click the link in my bio to book a free discovery call, or click the link in my bio to apply to work with me. Send me a DM to see if this is right for you, or comment me below and I'll send you more information. You don't need all of these, by the way. Just pick one, pick something that just tells your audience what to do next. And as I mentioned earlier, anything can be turned into a sales post. Literally all your educational posts can end as a sales post, right? Your CTA could say, if you struggle with this and you'd like support, send me a DM to learn more about my one-on-one coaching. Okay. So don't feel they all need to be so structured like this as far as like those what if statements and imagine if statements. I mean, you could use a template like this to sell all the time, but you don't have to. Okay. And as for graphics, and this is something that we didn't really dive into too much, but as for the graphics, I'm a big fan of using a photo of you. I want you making this as simple as possible. And I also want them seeing your face as much as possible. Okay. So right on top of that photo of you, you can add in that headline. So attention all blank and kind of put that all there. And then put the rest of the sales posts in the bottom caption area. Or you can simply just use a carousel. So having a photo of you and then the text on the next few slides. Okay. So I want you making this as easy as possible for yourself. So if carousel works, great. If a photo of you works and then you just put the actual words in the caption area, perfect. Okay. So make your life as easy as possible for yourself. Like think of just how can I make this as simple as possible? Okay. There are so many different ways that you can sell. Okay. You can reuse this same exact post many, many times or create it for your stories or spice it up, use different words, different bullet points. I don't want selling to be energetically draining for you every single day. I want you having these what if statements or imaginative statements, or even those does this sound familiar statements ready to go and on cue every day. So put these in your notes app, make a Google Doc or a Word doc just so you can keep coming back to these. You can also make a bunch of these in Canva and just have them ready to go so you don't have to redo this every single week. Okay. So that is my simple sales template for you to use to sell on your grid, in your stories, and anywhere on social media. Okay. So I want you giving this a try today. Sit down and come up with your sales post. Okay. So let me quickly sum up the sales post for you. Okay. So you're going to start with calling out your ideal client. So attention all or calling all. Okay. Then you're going to go into what if statements or does this sound familiar statements. Then you're going to go into imaginative statements. So really tapping into what they truly desire, that big dream of theirs or that big goal. And then you're going to go into, hi, I'm Allison, or hi, I'm so-and-so. And this is exactly what I can help you with. And then I want you adding in a very simple sentence that really goes into what they're struggling with. And then to say, it's time to hire a blank. And then you're going to end it with what's actually included inside of your coaching program or what's included in your package. So list out the features. So this could be weekly calls, Voxer, that sort of stuff. And then you end with a CTA. Very simple. Click the link in my bio to book your sales call or click the link in my bio to apply to work with me. Okay. So end with a call to action. All right. So, yeah, I don't want selling to be stressful for you. So if you are somebody who wants support and wants help writing these sort of sales posts and sales pages, this is exactly what I help my clients with inside one-on-one coaching. Coming up with your sales messaging is really my superpower, okay? I want you being able to communicate it in a way that isn't salesy or pushy or anything like that, okay? This is my specialty and I want to help you feel genuine but compelling. Okay. I want you coming up with sales posts that feel really good for you and actually convert your audience into paying clients. So I'm almost sold out of one-on-one coaching spots, just so you know. So if you are ready, click the link in my bio to apply to work with me. And if you have more questions, send me a DM on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have around my coaching. So yeah, I hope you like this episode and I hope you get some clients, right? Like let's sell and make some money here on social media. Thank you guys so much for listening and have a great week. And I'll see you on Friday next week. All right. Bye everyone. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson_coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.